Good morning, everybody. All right. So yesterday we were expecting the trading range, and we got exactly that. So seems the spring is being wound after the run up, and prices are up at this resistance area. So not unexpected that things have tightened up here. So now that we've got 3 days, I'm just hanging up here at the highs, and we don't have a correction bar. Longs have to be getting a little uneasy, but of course, they're not going to give up just yet. And one of the things were looking for, and we didn't get, and this is even a better setup if it was going to happen, would be a correction bar. And the move off of here obviously was pretty strong. And the prices are stalled here. The resistance is here. All the controversy about stimulus and whatever, stalled at the highs here. Anyway, so maybe making new all-time highs. We'll see. Sell in May and go away. May's almost over. There was a correction, but obviously things came right back up again. So it was a lot of running in place. But the correction bar would be, breaking the lows, and prices are up here a little bit. Let's say 119 and a half. So, just up a tinge, just still trading in yesterday's range. So if things were to turn down and kind of spike lower and recover, that would be a long setup. We'll see what happens. Now, the opposite of that would be, since it's going sideways, if it spikes up and comes down in a nasty way, well, that's going to be a short-term sell setup. Be good for call spreads. So while in a trading range, we're waiting, to see what's going to go on here. Is it going to, higher, lower, continue to move sideways, or whatever? In other words, just stay away in this time frame for now. That being said, yesterday the Russell came roaring back. They certainly look like, they could crack here after that topping tail bar right there. But nope, they were strong pre-market and they held up. And while we had some selling in the other markets, broader markets, early on, that was hanging at the highs, and then it dipped down and came back, and it just kept going. And now it's up further here, moving up toward the next resistance area right there. So probably, maybe get a little bit further. It hasn't given up at all, not even on the 5-minute chart, but momentum is beginning to slow down. So as it took off here, it pulled back. Let's spread this out a little bit. And it's jiggled around. That's what we call creating support after creating a void by a momentum move higher. It's what it's supposed to do to confirm that bullish price action. Took off again, red bar, and right back up. And now this red bar is forming. So the way we read slowing momentum without indicators is to look at the distance between the pivot highs or the red bars. So this isn't completed yet. And you know what? Not the best time to make this adjustment, but I don't need those prices there. Let's do this and status line. I don't need a description. I can see my countdown timer, that it's got 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in this red bar. So it could, become a green bar and push up again. IWM Russell put spread. Well, McGraw, where? What strike? That's the story. When you tell me, down here, I'm going to say, yeah, it's a no-brainer. It depends on how close it is, and the premium you can get. I would say if we're talking a spread for tomorrow, the odds of it coming down here are pretty slim. But the odds of stalling here, I think, are pretty high. So, the fact that it came up here, I don't know, I haven't looked at it, I don't know what the premiums are. But if you were to say, hey, Let's look at IWM. If you were to say, hey, you know what about a call spread up here that it's moving up? I think that works. And, below the red bar for tomorrow, well, how far below the red bar? It probably works as well. So, again, the resistance is right there. Where is it? 220, almost 225. And so 225, it's right here. This could be a gap, a little minor gap and crap, actually. Or maybe it pushes up into 10 o'clock and then rolls back over again. We'll keep an eye on that. 2125. 2125. You kidding me? Oh, for next Friday. For June 2nd. Yeah. You know what? I think it's a no-brainer. Look, if it rolls over, you could probably get, better premium, but I think and unless something catastrophic happens, I can't even imagine it going back down there next week. But no, just based on with the chart that we see now, but it's coming up into an area where there's going to be sellers here. The timing of when they show up, we'll just have to be watching intraday. Yeah, half lot makes total sense. Yeah, agree. On YouTube, they think great, some nice comments about yesterday's lecture. We enjoyed it. We thought it was really good. All right, other markets. YM. Well, it's only 9:10 in the morning, but if that bar looks like that at the end of the day, press the button all in above that high. Sideways like this, I mean, that's what I'm talking about with a correction bar. And I'll look at the futures, but it's too early in the day to think that this is what we're going to get at the end of the day. It could be a red bar, but if it looks like this, sideways, break below the low, spring back up again, I mean, even take it overnight, that kind of price action. So we'll see. It's right up into, you can see it here, you can see it there, of course. So sellers are going to be there. And Qs just kind of hanging up here, not a very convincing type of correction bar. I mean, look at the difference. That's great. Hanging right at the high, the red bar, topping tail bar, breaking the low, and the size of this bar. Let me go look at the NQs, and it's like, that's like a wimpy bar. And not interested. But I like the weekly. It's a good start of a turn. We'll keep an eye. S&Ps. Well, the Dow looks the best, but it's better than the Qs. It's just chopping on the way down. Lots of pivots right there. What's going to get things moving? Sometimes you don't know. But intraday maybe something can light a spark. But overall, it's unlikely it's going to get past that high point there. And you got support right here. So we go into this day thinking, day trades as far as, the futures go, maybe things are not really set up here right now. We say, as always, we look through stocks and we find things that are on their own page. The market is one thing. Sectors, are different pieces of the market broken up into different focal points or sectors, semis, biotechs, so on and so forth. And then there's individual stocks within those sectors. And some of them are outperformers, some are underperformers. In the green room, I think it was Emmanuel found Square the other day down here. And we were thinking, well, that's a nice pattern, and went for it. But there was a concern that the Qs were at resistance, but this is what we call a catch-up trade, bringing up the rear. So this is one that's worked out super well. And, so there's always opportunities somewhere. Sometimes it can be feast or famine, of course. When things are lined up, it tends to be a feast. And when things get out of sync, it becomes more difficult. It's just the way it is. All right. Bonds are continuing to do nothing in their trading range back and forth here. They made a run up to resistance, coming back in a little bit. That's the 30-year. There's the 10-year, same story. Not really doing anything. Be interesting to see where this is at the end of the week. And everything's interesting about the market. Some days just a little more interesting than others. Oil sprung back up again, by the dip, still in force, consolidating up at this resistance area, which you can see right there. Just simply look to the left. Remove the fib lines, remove the Elliott waves, remove the VWAPs, remove the horizontal lines connecting these numbers. Just nothing but looking to the left. And things become simple. Simpler, let's put it that way. Simpler. Not saying markets are a no-brainer, but sure it makes it a lot easier when you eliminate the noise. Gold continuing to do well, consolidating a bit there. Maybe silver is going to play catch up. Since I like that kind of consolidation pattern at the rising moving average, it is at resistance. Looking at the left there. What else? Transports survived yesterday's red bar, but it was an inside day. So, the idea yesterday was running in place, and we got exactly that. A silver leap small. I guess so, sure. Yeah, why not? If you're going to do it small, money management, look, money management allows you to do almost anything, meaning I can press the button without even looking at the chart because I'm just going to take a minuscule position and it's like, all right, So the end, we sometimes our focus is proper entry points that give us the best reward to risk. But other times there are patterns that, big wide range bars, for example. And so you adjust your money management and you can get in because, it's been my experience with, wide range reversal bars. Sometimes, a lot of times it's just best to put on a small position because they don't give you the 1, 2, 3 or an opportunity to, get on board. Yeah, money management with options is definitely tricky. And, Dan's an options trader. I is a directional type of trader, but I'll do some options. And so when we were doing all these credit spreads, which Dan, a lot of Dan's focusing, he's great at, I was frustrated about exactly that, the money management with options, because you got these moving parts, time, volatility, and so it's another animal that you got to learn its nuances and how to utilize it. So anyway, what else? Well, let's take a look at Bitcoin. It was in the news, but it's just chopping around here. So another market that's running in place. Markets are waiting, whether it's a move down or a move up. Prices are at support or resistance. Markets are digesting those moves. And our job is to recognize that and not press it at a time where things aren't set up to provide us with opportunities to press. Well, there you go. All yours, Dan. Oh, someone wants the internals aren't. Let me find that chart here. No, the lower band told us again. I mean, and as I mentioned many times, well, I created these bands well over 15 years ago. They've never been up in this area for such a length of time. I don't even know if they'd ever been up in this area where the upper band was up at 0.60. And by the way, this is actually inverted because these numbers are actually reversed as they come through from the exchange. I just did it that way because it lines up with highs and lows. But, and I mentioned this at the time that it's a good thing that option traders were getting a bit more on the bearish side. But this is historically where it comes down to for a correction. And it's not even close. So now that it's coming up to 0.8, and these bands are starting to roll over. It's, you know, and you can see here, it hasn't touched the upper band in a little while. So things, option traders were becoming a bit more bearish on the markets. And now kind of, you know, as I look at this, I think to myself, you know, is that the first wave down or strike, which is going to eventually lead to lower? So, you know, the move off of the low in this W bottom doesn't support that. But now that this has come up to this 0.8 level, I'm going to be watching to see if this actually begins to roll over and see if that plays out. And, you know, you can see the breadth hasn't gotten up above the red line in quite a long time. But the markets have been erratic and choppy for, you know, almost a couple of months now. So we'll see how it plays out. You know, so breadth kind of normal for a market that's going nowhere, and a little move up. Option traders get excited again, and you know, we'll see what happens in the coming days. All right, Dan, here you go. Yep, range bound, John. We're range bound.
All right, good morning. So all our opens are fine. You see our airlines are up. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, we're in two pot stocks. Wow, look at the time. This rocket ship here pre-market. So Hawaiian Airline gapping up there, UAL, Jets. Yeah, I think, yeah, Jets, you know, had a crazy reversal. What's today? Thursday and Tuesday, but look at it. Now we're back over that high. This looks like an ad today. We need to scan all airlines again. We got Riots here. We're long. That has a nice pre-market. Actually, the only problem child we have here is IWM call spread. You know, we still have this reversal over here, but it's bullish 15-minute chart. You know, when I see a chart like this, that's telling me that it's gonna probably go through resistance. Look at this beautiful 1, 2, 3 and continuation pattern. This is exactly what we love to teach. Igniting, closed over resistance, inside bar, took out the low of the red bar, closed at the high. That was a beautiful long yesterday on the 15-minute chart. Yeah, that's right, Frank. Yeah, Amazon, we have Amazon's another danger. I mean, you can see here when I gave put spread right into before our MT live when it was breaking out here. And then look at this, you know, look at the afternoon. So sometimes, you know, they bite you into the close and sometimes they leave the station without you. ADCO, we're already in it, Michael. I would not enter it now. We entered it as a continuation pattern with a bearish weekly and a monthly. But no, I would not enter it now. Let's see, JR wrap. Yeah, Jake mentioned wrap to me yesterday into the close. It looks higher. Beautiful weekly. That's a textbook, beautiful bottoming pattern, downtrend, sideways trend, wide range close. The no-brainer entry was on the weekly chart was you buy last week's high, stop last week's low. Target 9 to 11. Yeah, looks good. Oh, really? ADCO Biden bid. Okay. Sam, your drop down. Let's, yeah, you know, just got to keep an eye on it. Kind of a reverse heading shoulders here. Shoulder head, snap right back. Oliver Sandal, another bullish day. Where's the run over? Yeah, we entered Tilray yesterday. We entered Tilray. Looks great. you know, this has been a very tough sector to get on board, but you know, we re-entered yesterday, and yeah, we entered Sandal yesterday also. You're asking me, is the run over? I would say based on yesterday's bar, wide range breakout at the 200 with the sector perking on volume, I would say, heck no, it's not over. But the 15 is getting extended. So, you know, you can still buy a pullback, but it's extended now. I mean, this thing running from 78 to 92, do the math. That's a big percent. That in a window. TPX, 38 bucks. There's no pattern there. It's gapping right to resistance. TCS. Oh, we looked in. Order Solo and GoGo. Solo, yeah, Solo's on our list from yesterday. We did a lot of scanning yesterday afternoon, and this is on our list. The EV market is shaping up. Workhorse we posted yesterday has a long over yesterday's high. It did not trigger, but it is still valid. Yes. GoGo, TRBG, GoGo. Yeah, it's a breakout. Daily, weekly, sure. Stopped yesterday's low. TRBG. Now that one I would prefer a 1, 2, 3. And the reason for that is because it's, even though it closed at the top of the range, it's still in a sloppy trading range. But if you give me an inside bar that closes in the upper third, then I will have more confidence, because then this message of the strength of yesterday's bar, I'll be more confident. Jose, XL, yeah, XL is on our afternoon sheet from yesterday, absolutely. I'm going to put that in a window. Yeah, that looks fantastic. Yeah, I've been watching this for a bottoming pattern for a while. Let's see, VIR I posted as a watch here, nice little gap breakout. I have it in the middle chart here. NVIDIA bottom right, obviously a semiconductor leader. The opening flat, you know, up a buck is flat for that bad boy. Somebody's asking me why is Amazon not on the spreadsheet. All right, let's continue here. Look at Beyond. Remember, it got an upgrade the other day and it was on our gap list. And I don't know if all of this is because of an upgrade or they got a slew of good news, but man, that's a big old move in a week. But now it's gap and resistance, 30-minute low. I will be watching that to do a call spread for tomorrow. One DT call spread. MSTR, you know, they're big into Bitcoin too, which is why I guess. Well, Austin, Austin. Let's see this. I said all I'm doing is giving ideas here, right? So that's, unless I say, yep, that's good to go over yesterday's high, this and this and this. But these gappers, if it's just an idea, then it still has to set up on the intraday time frame. So of course not, I'm not going to post it right now because I have no idea what it's going to do in the first hour. But that's why I leave them here and I come back to them around 10 o'clock and reassess. And then I either delete it, I might post a trade, or I might just leave it on the list because it needs more development. So same with this. This is a potential turn. I had a gap reversal and it's gone sideways for 5 days with a small topping tail. So if it can take out yesterday's high, then I need to go through the rest of my checklist, but I would sell a put spread under the week's low. If there's good juice and no news and tight spreads. Gapping up, wow, that's a big gap. Gapping over, wow, gapping over all of this. So every single bear in these 3 bars are now holding a losing position. And this has room, 23.50, which is really not that big. But we'll come back to it in an hour. I think GCO gap breakout, but that's the type of breakout that we don't like. CSIQ I saw was down here. It actually had a very bullish close yesterday. Look at the strength of this 15-minute chart. Wow. That's powerful day yesterday, but now it looks like news. It's a nasty wide range bar, bearish 1, 2, 3. But I don't know what to do with it. Mr. Blue Chips asking about Tesla and HWM. HWM. I don't like those. See, as soon as my chart populated, I just don't like charts that have overlapping, unpredictable candlesticks, unless you're trading, a tighter pattern as a day trade or a longer time frame like the weekly. It is a very bullish pre-market. So, see how put it in a window. That's step 2, as I said. Put it in a 5-minute thumbnail and see what it does. Plan. Wow, that's a nasty gap down. $46. Wow. I don't know what to do with that. So we'll come back to it in a half hour, but I'll probably end up deleting it. All right, there's my gap breakout one. These meme stocks, GME, AMC, we talked about them in MT Live yesterday. A really good show we had with the Spot Gamma boys of how to use Gamma and big open interest and options overlaid with our methodology. But if you're so bold, the call options are really jacked. You can, we can look to sell an out of the money call spread. Gap's too big there, BTNR, don't know what's going on. Here, TELL, it's a very bullish weekly, monthly. Well, take that back now that I see all those overlapping bars. So nothing to do with it. Nothing to do. So we have a bunch of put spreads that expire tomorrow. Tesla is holding well. We have Microsoft. We have Netflix. That's fine. It's going nowhere. And remember I said the other day, I would never buy this as a direction.